Continue crocheting the plum blossom motif, which is divided into the flower core, the flowers, and the square section. Start by crocheting the flowers. After completing them, crochet the flower core, and join it with the flowers. Finally, pick up the corresponding position on the flowers to crochet the square section. A single motif has 4 flowers. The crochet method for each flower is the same. The color schemes are just slightly different. Joining need to be made during the process. Each flower starts with an adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise outward from the ring. No new stitch techniques are used here. Please watch me demonstrate. Start by crocheting the flower. Begin with a magic ring. The starting magic ring and the first round here are similar to the first round of the daisy motif. Just the number of stitches is slightly different. Everyone, refer to the chart for guidance. Complete the first round. After completing, move on to crochet round 2. Join the yarn at any single crochet stitch. Then make 3 turning chains. Next, pick up the same position of the single crochet, crochet 1 double crochet stitch. Three chain stitches. Continue in the same position and work 1 slip stitch to secure it. I consider these stitches as 1 petal. Pick up the next single crochet position to crochet 1 petal. Start by picking up the stitch to the left. Work 1 slip stitch for the transition. Then crochet 3 chain stitches. 1 double crochet stitch. 3 chain stitches. Pick up the same position again and work 1 slip stitch to secure it. This completes 1 petal. Continue in the same manner. Pick up each single crochet position to create petals. Before crocheting each petal here, be sure to start with 1 slip stitch for the transition. After completing the last petal, pick up the starting position, and work 1 slip stitch for the transition. Then cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. This completes 1 flower. Move on to crochet the second flower. While crocheting, make sure to join it correspondingly with the first flower. First, follow the chart to complete the first round. After finishing, crochet the second round. Start by joining the yarn in any single crochet stitch. Then crochet the petals. One of the petals should be joined with the position of the first flower. The joining position for the petals can be random. I start the joining on the second petal. So first join the yarn and crochet the first petal. Then work 1 slip stitch to the left for the transition. Start crocheting the second petal while joining it. First, chain 3. Then work 1 double crochet. Next, enlarge the loop on the crochet hook. Remove the crochet hook. Pick up the first flower. Place it with the right side facing up. Then on the right side, insert the hook into one of the double crochet stitch positions on a petal. Draw through the loop that was left. This completes the joining. Then continue with 3 chain stitches. Go back to the previous second petal. Work 1 slip stitch. The second petal is now completed. No joining needed moving forward. Just crochet accordingly using the same technique as the previous petals. Everyone finish this part. After completion, start crocheting the third flower. While crocheting, you need to join it with the second flower. You can join at any petal position. I will still use the second petal as an example. Let me demonstrate the joining method one more time. First, crochet to the double crochet position of the second petal. Then stretch the loop. Remove the crochet hook. Next, locate the second flower. Find the right side of the petal used for joining. At the second petal position, pick up the stitch of the double crochet to join. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Go back to the second petal and crochet a slip stitch. The joining is now complete. No further joining needed. Crochet the corresponding petals. Everyone can now complete it. Moving on to explain the crocheting of the fourth flower. Here, you need to join it with the third flower, and also the first flower separately. Following the crochet sequence, you can start by joining it with the third flower. Then join it with the first flower. The joining points are all on the inner side, where the petals were previously joined. At the second petal position, after completing the joining, the final effect will look like this. On the inner side, there is 1 petal left unjoined. The method for this joining is the same as before. Everyone can refer to the chart and complete it accordingly. Next, we will crochet the flower core. Start with a magic ring. Then enlarge the loop on the crochet hook. Pick up the flower and align it with the positions of the 4 petals inside the flower. Join each of them separately. Start by joining one of the petals first. Insert the hook into the position of a double crochet stitch as usual. Draw through the loop that was left. Then chain 1. Go back to the starting point, and work 1 slip stitch. This completes 1 joining. Continue to join the next petal. Enlarge the loop. Insert from the double crochet position. Draw the loop through. Work 1 chain stitch. Pick up the starting stitch and work 1 slip stitch. This completes the second joining. For the rest, repeat this process. Continue joining the remaining petals. Finally, close the magic ring. Then fasten off the yarn. The beginning and ending yarn tails can be tied in a double knot on the wrong side for extra security. The remaining tails can be woven into the back of the petals to hide them. This completes the flower core and joins it with the flower. Next, we will crochet the square section. Locate the flower. Choose any outer petal. There are 5 outer petals that are not yet joined. On the 5th petal, join the yarn at a double crochet stitch. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Then work 1 double crochet stitch correspondingly. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Then pick up the petal on the left side, the petal adjacent to the joining position. Work 1 slip stitch in the double crochet stitch. I consider this stitch pattern as a corner. Crochet 9 chain stitches for the transition. Then place the chains on the wrong side. Pick up the same flower next. Locate the 5th petal. Insert the hook into the stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Then crochet 3 chain stitches. Work 1 double crochet. Crochet 3 chain stitches. On the adjacent petal at the left joining position. Join with a slip stitch to secure it. This completes 1 corner. Here, between the corners is 1 edge. Continue crocheting following the method for edges and corners. Mindful that all chain stitches are placed at the back. The last slip stitch of the final edge is crocheted at the starting joining position. Then fasten off the yarn. At this point, the first round of the square section is completed. Next, crochet the second round. On any flower, on the 3 petals facing outward that are not joined, join the yarn at the double crochet position of the centered petal. Chain 1 as the turning chain. Correspondingly work 1 single crochet. Then crochet 5 chain stitches. Next, pick up the position for a double crochet from the previous round. Work a DC2 bobble stitch. Insert the hook into the double crochet stitch. Then crochet 2 chain stitches. In the same position, continue with a TR2 bobble stitch. Two chain stitches. Then work another DC2 bobble stitch. Followed by 5 chain stitches. From here on, you can refer to the chart and continue crocheting. Complete the remaining part. Finally, work a slip stitch on the starting single crochet. Pull tight. Don't cut the yarn. The second round is complete. For the following rounds 3 to 5, the crocheting method is the same as the last few rounds of the daisy motif. Just the number of stitches is slightly different. During the 5th round, some sections require working and joining simultaneously. The joining method is identical to that of the daisy motif. Whether joining one side or two sides here, you can follow the same joining method to join them. If you encounter joining below the side of a large motif, start the joining at the previous small motif and conclude the joining at the same chain space. Then continue joining all the way to the corner of the large motif. When you need to join between two large motifs here, you can pick up the chain spaces of the two large motifs and join with slip stitches separately. Alternatively, you can pick up the corner positions of both large motifs simultaneously. Work one slip stitch to join. Then follow the same method. Join with the corresponding position, and that will do. The joining points here are based on the motif joining schematic diagram. Moving forward, please refer to the chart, crochet and join the remaining parts of the plum blossom motif. Now the explanation for the plum blossom motif is complete. Next, we'll discuss the bee motif. It consists of the bee and a square section. Start by crocheting the bee part. After completing, crochet around the edges of the bee at the corresponding positions. Then work on the square section. There are two orientations for this motif. The crocheting method is the same. However, the stitch count and position of the square section vary slightly. Let's start with crocheting the bee. It consists of the main part, wings, and antennae. Begin with the main part. You will need to change colors while crocheting. The new stitch technique used is the CH3SL picket stitch. Please watch as I demonstrate. Start with a magic ring. Then make 3 turning chains. Next, pick up the stitch and work 9 double crochets. After completing, check the stitch count. Including the turning chain, there should be 10 stitches. Close the ring. Join with a slip stitch in the top of the turning chain. Gently tighten slightly. Then work 8 chain stitches. Next, locate the 6th stitch from the end among these 8 stitches. Pick up the braid of this chain stitch. Take the single strand above it. Work 1 slip stitch without tightening. Then work 2 chain stitches. Next, join with a slip stitch at the position of the double crochet's turning chain below. That is, where you previously inserted the hook for the slip stitch. Tighten slightly. Then move on to the section of double crochets above. Wrap around to the right side of the yarn. Then make 1 chain as your turning chain. Pick up the adjacent small chain space. Work 1 single crochet stitch. 1/2 double crochet stitch. 1 double crochet stitch. 1 treble crochet stitch. Next, pick up the following chain space. Work 1 double crochet stitch. At the same time, change colors. Start with an incomplete double crochet. Pick up the yarn color you need for the change. Leave a little yarn tail. Yarn over and pull through. Complete the double crochet stitch. This also completes the color change. Then, continue using the new color. Insert into the same chain space. Work 3 double crochets. The replaced yarn and the short ends from joining will be dealt with later. Hide the ends while crocheting. After completing, crochet a CH3SL picket stitch. Start by making 3 chains. Then pick up the stitch from the edge of the double crochet below. Work with the yarn strand in front and the one on the left side. Crochet 1 slip stitch. Complete the CH3SL picket. In the same position, continue with 2 double crochets. After finishing, work 1 more double crochet, and switch back to the previous color. For the replaced color, leave a little yarn tail and cut it off. Continue downward. Pick up the same position and work 1 double crochet. Pay attention to weaving in the yarn tail. Pick the adjacent chain space next. Crochet 1 treble crochet. One double crochet. One half double crochet. 1 single crochet. Then join with a slip stitch to the starting single crochet. There's no need to tighten the slip stitch here. Break the yarn. Weave in all tails on the wrong side. At this point, the main part of the bee is crocheted. Next, we will crochet the bee's wings. A new stitch technique will be used. It's the DTR2 bobble stitch. Please watch me demonstrate. First, pick up the main part. Then, at one side of the main part, where there's a half double crochet position, join the yarn. Pick up the stitch and insert. Then make 6 chains as the turning chain. Crochet a DT or 2 bobble stitch in the same position. First, work an incomplete double treble crochet. Yarn over 3 times. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat this 3 times. This is the incomplete double treble crochet. Crochet another incomplete double treble crochet in the same position. Yarn over one last time, and draw through all the loops on your hook. This completes the DT or 2 bobble stitch. Next, make 6 chain stitches. Slip stitch into the same position. No need to tighten it. Now one wing is done. Break the yarn. Thread the yarn tail through the entry position to the wrong side. Hide the beginning and ending yarn tails on the wrong side of the fabric. Following the same method, on the symmetrical half double crochet stitch on the other side, you can create one wing there as well. The technique is the same. Everyone can finish this part now. Next, we will crochet the antennae. First, leave a tail of about 20 centimeters. Then start with a slip knot. Chain 6 stitches. Pick up the main part. Then locate the position of the round of double crochets around the main part. Choose 2 double crochet stitches that are relatively centered. Insert the hook into the stitch on the right side. Draw through from the left stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Then continue to chain 6 stitches. Cut the yarn. That's how you finish crocheting the antennae. Note that the antennae should be sewed and secured after completing the square section. That concludes the B section for now. Continue by crocheting the square section. Locate the picket stitches at the B's tail. Pick up the center and join the yarn. Make 1 chain stitch as your turning chain. Correspondingly work 1 single crochet stitch. Then crochet 12 chain stitches. Next, find the position for the wings. Pick up the chain stitch on the left side of the bobble stitch. Pick up the chain and work 1 single crochet. Then crochet 12 chain stitches afterward. Next, locate the top of the main part. This is where the antennae were joined with a slip stitch before. Insert the hook into the double crochet stitch above and to the right of the slip stitch. Work 1 single crochet stitch. Continue crocheting 12 chain stitches. Then find the position for the next wing. Pick up the stitch of the bobble stitch and insert the hook. Work 1 single crochet stitch. 12 chain stitches. Slip stitch at the starting single crochet position. Pull tight. Now that this part is crocheted, take a quick look. Check if the wings are in a flat upward position. You can adjust the insertion point of the single crochet on the wings as needed. As long as the wings turn out flat and upward after completion, it's fine. At this point, the first round is complete. Move on to the second round. Starting from this round, the stitch counts for the 2 directions are slightly different. First, pick up a chain space to the left, and work 1 slip stitch to carry the yarn along. Then, follow the chart for the rest of the stitches. For rounds 3 and 4, no new stitches or techniques are introduced. Crochet them all the way through together. Note that for the 4th round, you'll need to refer to the arrangement diagram for joining. The joining stitch technique is the same as before, when you need to join at a position joining 2 motifs simultaneously. You can work slip stitches separately as usual. You can also pick up and crochet a slip stitch all at once. For similar situations later, you can crochet this way as well. And for the bee motifs, be sure to pay attention to their orientation. They should all face inward in pairs. Crochet them to completion. Finally, secure the antennae. Thread the long yarn tail you reserved at the start onto a sewing needle. Make sure the neat side of the braid-like texture on the antennae faces upward. Then, in the double crochet area at the top, create a semicircular curve. Then pick up a strand from the back of the chain stitch. Sew it together at a position roughly corresponding to the double crochet. There's no specific requirement for the method, just make sure it's secure and looks nice. After finishing one side, bring the yarn to the other side. Use the same method to shape another semicircle. Then sew and secure it in place. Once done, thread the yarn through a few double crochets on the inside nearby. Do the same for the other yarn tail. Thread the yarn through the nearby double crochet stitches. Place both yarn tails on the wrong side. Weave them back in for a few stitches. Tie both yarn tails with a double knot to secure. You can trim the remaining yarn tails, or weave them further into the fabric. This completes sewing the bee's antennae. At this point, the crocheting of the bee motif has been fully explained. Up to this point, the entire section of small motifs has been covered. Next, let's learn how to crochet the triangular motif. The method is similar to the second section of the large motif. However, there's no need to secure the beginning and ending here. Use the magic ring technique. Crochet back and forth. When you reach the last row, work and join simultaneously. No new stitches are used in this process. Please watch me demonstrate. Start with a magic ring. Then make 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Next, pick up the stitch and crochet 3 double crochets. Chain 2 as an interval. Continue to pick up the stitch and work 4 double crochets. Finally, close the ring. Now the first row is completed. Continue with the second row. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Turn your work. Pick up the space between 2 double crochets on the edge next. Crochet 3 double crochets. For the following steps, refer to the chart for crocheting. For the last 4 stitches, crochet into the gap between the edge turning chain and the adjacent double crochet. Now the second row is completed. The remaining rows will follow a similar method to the second row, just refer to the chart directly. Complete it accordingly. Pay attention, some rows require color changes. When joining the last row, mindfully position it correctly. Make sure the right side of the last row is facing up. Just join them correspondingly. Here, you're joining 2 sides together. The joining method is the same as before. Complete it accordingly. That concludes the crocheting of the triangular motif. Once all motifs are finished, the motifs will be joined together to form a square shape. Next, crochet the edging around the entire blanket edge. A new stitch technique used here is the DC4 bobble stitch. There's also the DC5 popcorn 1 stitch. Watch me demonstrate. I'll use this sample for the demonstration. Find any corner of the blanket at the position between two triangles. Insert the needle into the gap below the edge joining position to join the yarn. Make 3 turning chains. In the same position, crochet 1 double crochet, 1 chain stitch, 2 double crochets. This completes one corner of this round. Move on to the edge position and continue crocheting. Here, the edges are all triangle motifs. Pick up 1 stitch from the side of each row of the triangle motifs. Work 3 single crochets into each row using the same method. Crochet accordingly. Finish crocheting this triangle motif section. Next is the chain space of the large motif. Crochet 3 single crochets into the chain space. For the following triangle sections, continue picking up stitches from the sides of each row. Work 3 single crochets in each row when you encounter the chain spaces of large or small motifs. Pick up and work 3 single crochets into each chain space. This is the method for crocheting the edges. When you reach the corner position, which is where 2 triangular motifs are joined together, pick up the gap between them and insert the hook. Crochet 2 double crochets. Then work 1 chain stitch and 2 double crochets. Moving forward, follow the methods for edges and corners. Continue working the remaining parts. At the end, join with a slip stitch at the top of the turning chain. Tighten the yarn. Cut the yarn. That concludes the method for the first round. Now move on to crochet the second round. This round consists entirely of single crochets. For the edges, correspondingly crochet into each stitch. For the corners, pick up the double crochet stitches and chain spaces separately. Crochet 1 stitch corresponding to each stitch. Everyone, make sure to complete this round. After finishing, cut the yarn. Once done, proceed to crochet the third round. Locate the position of the 5 single crochets from the corner of the previous round. This is where the double crochets were worked above. Join the yarn at the first stitch of these 5 stitches. Then make 3 turning chains. Work a DC4 bobble stitch. Start at the joining position. Crochet 2 incomplete double crochets. Then pick up the position of the 5th stitch. Crochet 2 more incomplete double crochets. Yarn over afterward, and draw through all loops on the hook once. This completes the DC4 bobble stitch. Crochet 4 chain stitches. Then pick up the bobble stitch. At the insertion point on the left edge, specifically, it's the insertion point for these 2 incomplete stitches. Crochet 1 slip stitch and do not pull it too tight. Then crochet 5 chains as a transition. Skip the next 4 single crochets on the left. Pick up the next stitch and crochet 1 double crochet. Chain 2 as a transition. Skip 2 stitches next. Crochet a DC5 popcorn 1 stitch. From now on, I'll refer to this as a popcorn stitch. Insert the hook into the same position again. Crochet 5 double crochets. Enlarge the loop next. Remove the crochet hook. Insert the hook into the first stitch of those 5 stitches. Then insert it into the loop that was left before. Pull it through. Crochet 1 chain to secure. This completes the popcorn stitch. Continue with 2 chains as a transition. Skip the next 2 stitches. Correspondingly, crochet 1 double crochet. Then crochet 5 chain stitches for the transition. I consider the 5 chain stitches on both sides and stitches in between as group 1 pattern. Skip the next 4 single crochets. Then slip stitch into the next stitch without tightening. Continue with 3 chain stitches. Then pick up the same insertion point of the slip stitch and the 4th stitch position from the left side. To make DC4 bobble stitch, start by picking the insertion point of the slip stitch. Crochet 2 incomplete double crochets. Then pick up the 4th stitch position, and crochet 2 more incomplete double crochets. Yarn over, and pull through all loops on the hook. This completes the DC4 bobble stitch. Next, crochet 4 chain stitches. Then pick up the insertion point on the left side of the bobble stitch, and make a slip stitch that is not too tight. I consider the slip stitches on both sides and stitches in between as group 2 pattern. From now on, alternate between pattern 1 and pattern 2. Here, the corner position happens to be where you crochet pattern 2, if you have a few stitches left before the next corner. And if the corner is not supposed to be pattern 2, according to the pattern. You can adjust the number of skipped single crochets in the previous pattern. Just make sure that the 5 stitches at the corner are exactly where you crochet pattern 2. Repeat this process and continue working the remaining parts. After crocheting the last 5 chain stitches, slip stitch at the insertion point of the beginning special bobble stitch. Then, break the yarn. That completes the explanation for the third round. Now, move on to the fourth round. Locate the corner with pattern 2, at the bobble stitch. Join the yarn on the single chain stitch to the left of the bobble stitch. Pick up the chain braid for insertion. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Correspondingly, make a DC2 bobble stitch. After completing it, treat the turning chain and this bobble stitch as a special DC3 bobble stitch. Then, crochet 12 chain stitches. Next, pick up the same position below and make a DC3 bobble stitch. Follow up with 5 chain stitches for transition. Then, pick up the chain space to the right of the popcorn stitch and crochet a popcorn stitch. Finally, work 2 chain stitches for transition. Then pick up the chain space to the left of the popcorn stitch and crochet a popcorn stitch. Follow with 5 chain stitches for transition. Next, at the position for pattern 2, pick up the single chain stitch to the left of the bobble stitch and make a DC3 bobble stitch. Crochet 12 chain stitches. And then make another DC3 bobble stitch. When you reach the position for pattern 1, start with 5 chain stitches for transition. Then pick up the spaces on both sides of the popcorn stitch and crochet 1 popcorn stitch on each side. Separate them with 2 chain stitches. Continue with 5 more chain stitches. Afterward, follow this method or refer to the chart to complete the remaining part. Finish with the last 5 chain stitches. Slip stitch into the starting special bobble stitch, which is the stitch to the left of the turning chain. Pull tight. This completes the 4th round. Continue to the 5th round. Pick up the chain space on the left. Work 1 slip stitch to carry the yarn along. Then make 3 chain stitches as the turning chain. Pick up the same chain space again. Crochet 6 double crochets. That's 3 chains and 7 double crochets. After completing, pick up the large gap with 5 chains. Work 1 single crochet. 3 chain stitches as an interval. Then pick up the position of the popcorn stitch. In the space on the right side of this popcorn stitch, work 1 double crochet. 2 chain stitches as an interval. Pick up the chain space on the left and work 1 popcorn stitch. Then crochet 2 chain stitches as an interval. Pick up the popcorn stitch on the left side. At the chain stitch position above it on the left, and work 1 double crochet. Then crochet 3 chain stitches as an interval. Pick the large chain space on the left, and work 1 single crochet. Afterward, you'll encounter a space made by 12 chain stitches. Correspondingly crochet 7 double crochets. Three chain stitches and 7 double crochets. When you encounter the popcorn stitch and its surrounding spaces, first pick up the large space made by 5 chain stitches, and work 1 single crochet, then make 3 chain stitches. Then pick the space position on the right side of the first popcorn stitch, crochet 1 double crochet. Make 2 chain stitches. Pick the chain space between the popcorn stitches, and work a popcorn stitch. Make 2 chain stitches. Pick the chain position at the location of the popcorn stitch on the left. Pick the braid of the chain stitch above the left side. Crochet 1 double crochet. Then continue with 3 chain stitches. Then pick the space of the 5 chain stitches, and crochet 1 single crochet. Afterward, repeat this process. Continue crocheting. Finally, slip stitch into the turning chain. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. That concludes the explanation for the 5th round. Lastly, crochet the 6th round. Join the yarn at the turning chain position from the previous round. Then make 2 chains as the turning chain. Next, pick up the double crochet stitches respectively. Work half double crochets, corresponding 1 by 1. Finish the double crochet stitch at the position before the chain stitch. Continue on this half double crochet, crochet a picket of 3 chain stitches. For the slip stitch, pick up the front bar of the stitch, and the 2 strands on the left. Insert the hook and crochet. Then pick up the adjacent chain space. Work according to 1 double crochet, 1 picket of 3 chain stitches. Repeat crocheting it 5 times. After completing, continue picking up the double crochet stitches. Work half double crochets, corresponding 1 by 1. Finish the area of double crochets. Pick up the chain spaces next. Crochet 2 single crochets. For the next space, work 1 single crochet. Pick up directly above the popcorn stitch. In the middle position. Crochet 4 double crochets here. Above each double crochet, work 1 picket of 3 chain stitches. After completing, continue picking up the chain space on the left side. Crochet 1 single crochet. For the adjacent chain space, work 2 single crochets. The following crochet method is identical to the previous one. Next, everyone can refer to the chart and combine it with the previous demonstration. Finish crocheting the remaining part. At the end, join with a slip stitch at the top of the turning chain. The slip stitch can be tightened or left loose as you prefer. Then, cut the yarn and weave in the ends. Everyone should complete it. At this point, the crochet tutorial for the 6th round is finished. In this way, the edging of the blanket has been fully explained. If the blanket isn't quite flat after completion, you can iron it on the wrong side with an iron. Up to this point, the entire process of making the blanket has now been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.